Hello guys, welcome back. This is your faculty Sudarshan from Hari Academy. Yes, for that CMA Intermediate double hundreds MCQ series, for that paper number 5, your waiting is over. For business law and ethics, we have come up with that double hundred MCQ series. Our faculty, Rushali Demda ma'am, will be presenting you this CMA Inter Business Law and Ethics 200 MCQ series to you. So here I want to give you to clarity over this, how I can get this PDF, sir. First, you need to WhatsApp me at 9043971982 with your name, place, and your email ID. That's one thing you need to do. For those who have already messaged me for that financial accounting 200 MCQ series, just WhatsApp me. Just, sir, I need that business law MCQ. Just send it to me. We will send it to you. Okay, that's two things I want to give a clarity. While watching this 200 MCQ series, it is going to be roughly 1 hour. 1 hour, 4 minutes is an output video. We have got it. So you can watch the video at the standard speed. And further clarity over, one question is there that we have committed some error towards that part, that this Negotiable Instruments Act 1881 extends to this. There is many options over there. In many of the cases, they have changed it from case to case. As of now, the Negotiable Instruments Act 1881 extends to whole of India. Okay, whole of India is the correct option. It is not whole of India except Union Territory. It is not whole of India except state of Jammu and Kashmir. It is exactly the whole of India. Okay, that's two things which I want to tell you. Okay, from here onwards, our Rushali ma'am will take over. Just watch and enjoy this video. Watch the video at a standard speed. Okay, all the best for your examinations. And one more thing further before I want to conclude, I want to add that there is a general instruction towards the examination. There is a separate playlist we have created. In that, there will be 3 videos of 5 to 10 minutes each. Just quickly watch that video for those who are writing exams for the very first time. Okay, over to Rushali ma'am. Thank you.
Hi guys, I hope you all are doing great and your preparations are going very well for your examinations. Today I'm here to help you with your paper number 5. Today we are going to discuss the double hundred MCQs, right? So that will help us to score good marks in your examination. So double hundred MCQ series for business law and ethics will be very useful for you to cover your 30 marks. This will be your short marks. Okay, let's not waste time and let's start with our MCQs. So the first MCQ that is given is, what is the chief source of legal authority in India? So your chief source of legal authority, where the legal authority is given, how we can rely on, is this thing authorized or not? So if it is written in the Constitution of India, you can say it is the chief source of legal authority. Whatever is written in the Constitution of India is your main source of legal authority. Next one is competency to contract relates to. So in your competency, remember it is both age and soundness of mind. So first option is given as age of parties. Second is given soundness of minds. And the third one is both age and soundness. So most appropriate, this one. MCQ means most appropriate choice. Okay. As per Sale of Goods Act, what is not included? So we are very well versed with this, that money is not included in your Sale of Goods Act. It is out of the definition of goods. Okay. Next is Negotiable Instrument Act 1881 extends to. So it extends to whole of India except your union territory. So let's see what options are given. Only to capital cities? No, it is extended to whole of India. Okay, whole of India except state of Jammu Kashmir. No, Jammu Kashmir is also included, but union territories are not included. Okay, so except the union territories. Now, where no provision is made by contract between the partners for the duration of their partnership. No contract is there for duration, how long the partnership will work, or for the determination of their partnership. The partnership is called when it is not decided, right? So that will be partnership at will. Options given are particular partnership, partnership for fixed term, this will not come. So our correct answer is partnership at will. Okay. Then what is the exact time limit under which a limited liability partnership must file the annual return? So remember that a limited liability partnership should file their annual return within 30 days. Let's see our options. A limited liability partnership must file its annual return within 30 days from closing of its financial year. So our option number 1 is correct. 45, 15, 60, these are given to confuse you. 30 days is the time limit from the financial year in which annual return of an LLP is to be filed. Okay. Employers shall display an abstract of the act and rules in form number U. Okay. Following cannot be nominated for the purpose of EPF Act, Employee Provident Fund Act. So wife can be nominated. Sons of a deceased sons who have attained majority, these people cannot be nominated, because son of deceased son who have already attained their majority age, they will not be considered, they will not be nominated for the purpose of EPS. Father-in-law you can nominate, unmarried daughter you can nominate. Okay. Next is an appeal shall be filed. So appeal, remember, 60 days. Appeal shall lie to High Court from orders of ESI within 60 days from the date of order of ESI court. So within 60 days, one should file the appeal from the order given in the ESI court. Now, minimum rate of wages on time work basis may be fixed in accordance with. So you can do it by anyways, hour, day, month, anyways. So it will be all of the above. Which public company is required to appoint independent directors? So we remember independent directors, your turnover should be greater than 100 crore or equivalent to 100 crore. Then your paid up share capital, that should be equal to or greater than 10 crore. And your aggregate of advances, etc. should be greater than or equal to 50 crore. Okay. It should be exceeding 50 crores, not equal to, only exceeding 50 crores. So if the options given over here are public company having a turnover of 100 crore or more, applicable. Public company having paid up share capital of 10 crore or more, applicable. Public companies having having in aggregate outstanding loans, debentures and deposit exceeding 50 crore, applicable. So all the options are applicable, or any of the above will work. Any of the above shall be required to appoint independent director. Okay, let's move to the next question. Which of the following is the disadvantage of business ethics? So first, when we are discussing this, we will see what advantages are there, and whatever we feel that is a disadvantage will be ticking over here. We'll be selecting as the correct option. Through increasing morale and trust, business can increase their share market. So this seems an advantage. Like if you are working with a morale and you are building the trust of the employees, then you are increasing their market share. So this is an advantage. Publicity due to well and ethical performance. If you are performing very good, you will be like people will be praising you. Mouth publicity will be done. So that is an advantage. Acceptance of products of the company by the public. So public will also accept your products because they will be relying on you. They will say that this company has business ethics. So our last option is diversity in achievements. Okay, that is a disadvantage. When the concern is caused by undue influence, the contract under section 19A, undue influence voidable. Okay. Dissolution of the partnership firm. It means the dissolution of partnership between all the partners of a firm. It means dissolution of partnership means a change in relation of partners. So dissolution of partnership between all the partners of firm or change in relation of partners. Partners relation has changed. Okay. It means the reconstitution of firm. No, firm is not going to be reconstituted. It is going to dissolve itself. Okay. Now, contribution of 10% to PF is applicable to establishment having less than 20 employees, declared as Sikh Industrial or Jute Company. All of the above. All these have the applicability of PF. Okay, 10% PF contribution is to be done. These were your first 15 questions. Let's go to the next questions. Cash is withdrawn by a customer of a bank from the automatic teller machine. So that is a tacit contract. Okay. Which of the following agency is irrecoverable under the Indian Contract Act? Agency for fixed period can be recovered. For single transaction can be recovered. Agency coupled with interest cannot be recovered. So it is irrecoverable. Okay, irrevocable, sorry. A sort of tacit understanding agreement among the intending bidders to stifle competition by not bidding against each other in an auction sale is called as knockout agreement, right? So in knockout agreement, you are the intending people are not bidding against each other. Okay, they are not knocking out. This type of agreement is called as knockout agreement. When an instrument is drawn conditionally or for a special purpose as a collateral security, instrument is drawn conditionally or for a special purpose as a collateral and not for the purpose of transferring property, where therein it is called as ambiguous instrument, no. Inchoate, no. Escrow instrument. Okay. Next is your, a new partner may be admitted into partnership firm either for the increase of capital of the firm or to strengthen. Now a new partner is brought in, so he will be including your or helping you to increase the capital, helping you to manage the business for the goodwill, etc. Right? Production of the firm can produce. Partners is not required for it. Employees will your wage, laborers, employees, etc. will be required. Management of the firm is correct, because to manage all the business you need more people. Now, power to exempt any LLP or class of LLP for audit of accounts. Central government has the power to exempt any LLP or particular class of LLPs for audits. According to Factories Act 1948, whitewash or color wash should be carried out at least once in a period of 14 months. Let's go to next. Provision of EPF and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1952 are applicable to cinema theatre employing 10, 20, 5 or 15. So it is 5 or more person. Okay, minimum 5 or more person. Okay, if 5 people are there or more are there, EPF and miscellaneous provisions will be applicable to cinema theatres. Gratuity is payable to an employee after he has rendered continuous service of not less than 5 years on his resignation. So 5 years service is required. This can also be asked as an MCQ. So we are revising here two things. On resignation, 5 years should be completed. Now, employer and employees contribution of ESI fund. ESI fund, you have to remember, employer's contribution mostly is in the higher case in all the EPF, ESI type of situation. So employer's contribution is 3.25% and employee's contribution is 0.75% of wages. Okay. Now, in which of the following manner the employer may fix wage period as per code? So we have seen as per code of wages also any manner can be determined. Daily, weekly, fortnightly, monthly. So your option C is correct, where all the options are included. Okay. Sweat equity shares shall be locked in for a period of shares are there. Sweat equity shares are locked in for a period of 3 years from the date of allotment. So it is 3 over here. Option number C. Every company limited by shares shall keep and maintain the register of members in the form number MGT1. MGT1 is used for maintaining register of members. Okay. In form number MGT1, you will be maintaining it. A prospectus which does not have complete particulars on the piece of securities offered and the quantum of securities offered by the company, your red herring prospectus does not give complete particulars on the price of securities offered and quantum of securities. So your option will be red herring prospectus. Meta ethics deal with the nature of moral judgment. Okay, meta ethics deal with the nature of moral judgment. Yeah, for this PDF you can contact this number and the PDF will be sent to you. So you have to contact this number on WhatsApp and the sir will be sending you the PDF if you want the PDF of this questions. Now, the term family, so we have clearly completed 30 questions very fast and very easily. So these are some quick questions you need to remember. Short after studying this PDF you will be able to score your 30 marks. So 24-25 is also what we can be happy with, right? And the other things we will be getting from your written paper. So this will help you a lot in your examination. The term family as defined in ESI Act does not include spouse will be included, minor adopted child will be included, dependent unmarried daughter will be included, but independent married daughter will not be included. The daughter is independent, also married, now she will not be included. Section 56 talks about dash under the Code of Wages Act, composition of offences. Composition of offences is given under section 56. Somewhere they will ask you section questions also, so you have to remember few of them which are the important ones. Constitution of India describes India as union of states. States are combining themselves and making a union. So a union of states. Now in the comment section, you people will be telling us how many states and union territories are there. Let's see how good is your GK also. Which one of the following is not the feature of agreement to sale under the Sale of Goods Act? What is not a feature of agreement to sale? It is an executor contract. It is a feature. Sales takes place for existing and specific goods. There is one more thing over here. Future goods also will be included, right? So that is why this is not the feature. Which one cannot be transacted through postal ballot? Appointment of auditor cannot be done through postal ballot. You can't do it through postal ballot. Now, minimum number of designated partners in an LLP, 2 partners will be your minimum number of designated partners. Designated partners. Okay. Under the Negotiable Instruments Act 1881, whether acceptance of a bill of exchange in the following situation shall be treated as qualified acceptance, where the acceptor, now whether acceptance of a bill of exchange in following situation shall be treated as qualified acceptance. When do we treat it as qualified acceptance? When the acceptor undertakes to pay rupees 10,000 for a bill drawn for 15,000. Okay. So this will be considered as qualified acceptance because he is going to pay 10,000 for a bill drawn of 15,000. What is the paid up share capital fixed for the appointment of women director? Women director 300. Women director 300 crores. Okay. Paid up share capital your 300 crores. Now, which one of the following will not include in the definition of basic wages under the Employment Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1952? There is no such percentage which is to be included in the basic wages. Yeah, right? So your basic pay that they are giving, presents that they are giving to employees, then your amount of dearness allowance, house rent allowance, all the allowance or etc. will be included. No percentage thing is given. Okay? So it will be none of the above. Where any member of a firm has died and otherwise ceased to be a partner, and the surviving partner or continuing partner carry on the business of firm with the property of firm without any final settlement. Final settlement is not done, so we have two options, right? Either we have to pay the share of profit or 6% of interest. So let's see what the question talks about. As between them and the outgoing partner or his estate, then in the absence of a contract to the contrary, outgoing partner or his estate is entitled at the option of himself or his representative to such the share of profit made since he ceased to be a partner as may be attributable to the use of his share of the property of the firm or to interest at the rate of amount of of his share in the property of the firm, that is 6% per annum. Okay, two things are there. If a person dies or ceases to be a partner, he has two options. Like the firm other containing partners have two options: either give him the share of the profit from the date when he left the firm and attributable to his share, or you have to give him 6% interest on the amount of his share in the property of the firm. Okay. Which one of the following is not a quasi-contract? Claim for necessity supplied to a person incapable of contracting. This is not a quasi-contract. Reimbursement of person paying money by another in payment of which he is interested. So he is interested. So that won't be a quasi-contract. Uncertainty and futurity of the event to which is related. Uncertain event is there. Anytime it can happen. So that will be a quasi-contract. Relationship between law and ethics is complex. It is very complex, but we are studying it. A factory employs 250 workers. All the workers, including workers above 60 years of age and below 15 years of age, went on strike. The employer can deduct fine from all workers? No. Cannot deduct fine from workers who are under the age of 15. So if any of your worker is under the age of 15, you can't deduct the fine from that worker's pay. Above 60 you can deduct, but under 15 you can't. In case of e-voting, notice shall be sent as an attachment in PDF. E-voting is there, so PDF files are sent for attachment. Where a company issues shares with a differential right, the should be maintained under section 88. So if you are issuing shares with differential right, register of members, right? Dash should be maintained under section 88 register of members, option number C. Quickly, we have covered almost 45 questions of your examination, right? So let's go to next one. Untouchability is abolished and it is a practice in and its practice in any form is forbidden, not allowed in the law. Untouchability is abolished and not allowed in the law. If a mercantile agent is authorized by the owner of the goods to sell on his behalf, then such sale shall be valid. If a mercantile agent is authorized by owner gives the authority to mercantile agent, so that is a valid thing. Okay. A party who does not suffer any loss in case of breach of contract is entitled to exemplary damages. No, they are not, like they are more than your nominal damages. So if you are not suffering any loss, you just get the nominal damages. Your breach of contract charges or your notary charges, etc. These things, nominal damages you will get. Negotiable Instruments Act 1881 extends to whole of India, only to capital cities except the state of Jammu Kashmir. It is applicable to whole of India but not to state of Jammu and Kashmir. Every foreign LLP shall file with the registrar the statement of account and solvency in form number 8. Remember this, form number 8 is used with to file with registrar the statement of account and solvency. Okay. Very nicely, we have covered 50 questions from your 200 questions, double 100, 200 questions. Out of that, we have covered your 50 questions, right? So 5-6 marks we can guarantee for now, right? 5-6 questions can be asked from this. So 10 marks or like 4-5 questions also are asked. So you can write from it. Okay. Let's go to question number 51. If there is a dispute as to the amount of gratuity payable to the employee, employer shall deposit the gratuity with the controlling authority. You have to deposit with the controlling authority if there is some gratuity dispute between employer and employee. When a person is employed on piece work for which minimum time rate and not a minimum piece rate has been fixed under this code, the employer shall pay. Now here what has happened? Employer has employed this person on piece work for minimum time rate. Minimum time rate is your basis for employing. You have done it on piece work and that is on minimum time rate. You have to do in this minimum time only. So if this person is employed, so employer shall pay him with the on the basis of minimum time rate, not less than this. You have to pay him minimum time rate. If your minimum time rate is 10 and minimum wage rate was 6, so you have to minimum pay 10 rupees, okay, per hour or per minute, howsoever it is, okay. No prospectus shall be valid if it is issued more than 90 days after the date on which a copy thereof is delivered to register. So within 90 days you have to file it with the registrar. You have to deliver it to registrar. Private placement shall be made not more than 200 persons in aggregate in a financial year as per Companies Act. So if you are doing some private placement kind of thing, not more than 200 persons are allowed in a financial year. Aggregate, okay. Quorum for a public company having the number of members more than 5,000 is 30. Remember that for more than 5,000 it is 30 people are required, quorum. For selecting the name of the company, an application for the reservation of name shall be made in form INC1, first form INC1 with the fee. Where the equity shares of the company are listed on a recognized stock exchange, the issue of such shares shall be approved by shareholders through the postal ballot. Through the postal ballot, you have to approve the equity shares that are listed on the stock exchange. Okay, that will be approved by the shareholders through postal ballot. Selflessness means that the holders of public office shall act solely in terms of public interest. Selflessness, clearly your public interest. You are doing it for the public, not for your own self or the government or company's self. Moral management requires ethical leadership. For moral management, you will require ethical leadership. Okay. Let's see the next question. A proposal for a commercial transaction can be accepted by notice of acceptance, by performance of condition of proposal, by acceptance of consideration. or for a reciprocal promise. You accept the notice, you perform the condition for proposal, or you accept consideration for a reciprocal promise. All of the above situations will be correct for a proposal of commercial transaction. Which one of the following amounts to safety measure under Factories Act 1948? Artificial humidification, ventilation, no. Fencing of factory is for safety measure. Okay. The age of an adolescent worker under Factories Act 14 years. We have seen multiple ads also going on. 14 years is the minimum age. Okay. Which one of the following will not be included in the definition of wages under Payment of Gratuity Act? Overtime will not be included. Dearness allowance, cash value for consideration will be included. I told you presents, gifts, etc. they are giving. Dearness allowance they are giving, that will be included. Contribution of the employer to employees provident fund. 10% is the employer's contribution. Okay. For which of the following purposes can securities premium account be utilized? So if you have securities premium, you can buy back the shares, you can write off the preliminary expenses, you can give bonus shares also. So in writing off the preliminary expenses, buyback of shares, issue of bonus shares, any of the above. For all these purposes, securities premium account can be utilized. Which of the following is a method of voting? Voting by show of hands. You can vote it through electronic means, through poll. All of the above are the ways for voting. Okay. Minimum age prescribed for appointment of as a managing director. 21 years of age is the minimum age. At every AGM, not less than 2/3. We have read it many times. At every AGM, not less than 2/3 of the total number of directors shall retire by rotation. Okay. The relationship between law and ethics is complex. We have already seen this. Ethics are the set of moral principles that guide a person's behavior. How a person is going to behave, that is guided by ethics. How you have to work at your workplace, what should be your duties, right? 70 questions done. Let's go ahead. Competency to contract relates to age of parties, soundness of mind, both age of parties and soundness of mind. Okay. Compensatory holidays are to be availed of within dash under the Factories Act. Under within 2 months you have to do it in the Factories Act 1948. Okay, compensatory holidays. Certificate of fitness to be young worker is to be granted by a certifying surgeon. A certifying surgeon will give you, right? You're fit or not, that surgeon can give you. Next, withdrawal from PF may be allowed for the purchase of a dwelling place. If you want to buy a house, you will be allowed for withdrawing the amount from your PF. Bonus shares may be issued out of free reserve, securities premium, capital redemption reserve. We have seen securities premium can be used for bonus shares. Also, we can use free reserves, then your securities premium and capital redemption reserve. So, any of the above will be available for issuing bonus shares. Minimum number of directors in a public company. 3 directors are minimum in a public company. Okay. Let's go ahead. Appointment of an independent director shall be approved by general meeting. If you want to appoint an independent director, you have to conduct a general meeting. No independent director shall hold office for more than 2 consecutive terms. Not more than 2 consecutive terms. If a company does not have a common seal, the share certificate shall be signed by 2 directors, 1 director and company secretary. So either A or B, anything can work. Either both the directors should sign or 1 director and a company secretary should sign. Okay. Law gives us certain right because all humans are born equal. Law gives us certain rights because everyone is born equal. Many laws are representative of ethics of time. So laws represent ethics of time. How one should be like working in a natural environment, how they should be behaving, the ethics that one should be following. That is represented by laws. So they can ask you many laws are representative to dash of time. This can also be asked as an MCQ. So ethics of time. Next question. The liability of surety arises only when the principal debtor fails to pay the debt to creditor. Liability of surety will arise only when creditor has defaulted. Okay. Surety comes into picture when your creditor who has promised to principal debtor fails to pay the amount. Mutual rights and duties of the partners of a firm may be determined by contract entered between the partners. So whatever contract you enter into will be containing your mutual rights and duties. Holder in due course means any person who for consideration became the possession of promissory note. So who is for the consideration becoming the possession, or the person who is possessing that promissory note will be considered as holder in due course. Okay. Subject to the approval of PF, commissioner withdrawal from the provident fund may be allowed up to 75% of balance. You can only withdraw up to 75% of the balance in your PF. So that is also after the commissioner's permission is there, after the approval. Provision for cool drinking water during hot weather shall be made where more than 250 workers are employed. So if in your company, in your factory, 250 workers or more are employed, you have to provide them cool drinking water. Okay. And that is in the hot weather only. In the normal weather, you can just provide them normal drinking water. Which of the following is not a valid method of voting in a meeting of company? So you can do by showing of hands, by through electronic means or postal ballot, but voting by voice is not allowed. Okay, we have seen this question where it was all of the above. Now here they have given different option: voting by voice, postal ballot, show of hands, and electronic means is allowed. Copies of annual reports prepared and copies of all certification and document required to be annexed thereto shall be preserved for a period of 8 years from the date of filing with registrar. So you have to maintain that copy of your annual return, all the certificate documents for a period of 8 years. It is very much important to remember that you have to preserve them for 8 years. The tenure of the director appointed by small shareholders shall be 3 years. If your director is appointed by small shareholders, representative of small shareholders, tenure will be 3 years. The board of directors of every listed public company shall constitute an audit committee. Every listed public company will have an audit committee also. Law refers to the set of codified norms which are enforced by the state. Law refers to set of codified norms enforced by the state. Business ethic calls for avoidance of monopoly. You can have self-interest, you can have competition. Also, that will help you to do publicity, but monopoly is not allowed. To avoid monopoly, we have business ethics. Everyone will be doing business fairly. A statement of fact which one party makes in the course of negotiation with a view to induce the other party to enter into a contract is known as misrepresentation. Like one person in the negotiation is trying to induce the other party, so they are trying to misrepresent the things. A contract of sale of goods is a contract whereby the seller transfers the property in the goods to the buyer for a price. For a price only you will be getting into a contract of sale. Essential of contract of sale: consideration. First endorsement of an instrument can be made by the payee. The person who is going to receive the amount, payee who is getting the amount, he can endorse it. Chapter 3 of the Factories Act 1948 deals with measures to be taken considering health aspects of workers. So whatever measures you are taking, you have to consider the health aspects also. There is no harm to the employees. Under the Employees State Insurance Act 1948, seasonal factory is one which is engaged for a period of not exceeding 7 months. 7 months is your seasonal factory. 7 months. Remember this. Important MCQ. As per the Minimum Wages Act 1948, the wages of a worker in an establishment where less than 1,000 employees are employed must be paid before the expiry of 7th day. So 7th day, before the expiry of 7th day, the amount should be provided. Okay, where less than 1,000 employees are there. If the equity share of a company are listed on a recognized stock exchange, the employee stock option scheme shall be issued in accordance with regulations made under SEBI. So if equity shares of a company are listed, so you have to go to Stock Exchange, Securities and Exchange Board of India. Simple MCQ. Don't waste your time over here then. Okay, simple ones. As SEBI is given, go for it. A director may be elected by small shareholders upon a notice by not less than 1,000 small shareholders, correct. 1/10 of number of shareholders, anything is applicable. Okay, whichever is lower. Not less than 1,000 small shareholders or 1/10 of such shareholders, whichever is lower. Okay. So out of your double 100, we have covered single 100. 100 MCQs are done. So I hope you are liking the video. It is being helpful to you. Please like the video and share it with your friends who are appearing for the CMA Intermediate examination. It is going to benefit all of them. Next question, 101. Which one of the following is not the features of business ethic? Profit making is not the feature of business ethic. Code of conduct is there. Protecting the social groups, providing basic framework, all these are features. 102nd question. A person who is actually of unsound mind but occasionally of sound mind may make a contract when he is of a sound mind. When you are in a sound mind, you can make a contract. Option number B, sound mind. Future good is the goods to be manufactured or produced or acquired by the seller after making the contract of sale. Today you don't have those goods. In the future you will be having those goods. Any limited liability partnership may change its name by the following procedure as laid down in the LLP agreement. So in the LLP agreement it is written how you can change your name. You have to mention while making the agreement only. Every occupier shall ensure, as far as is reasonably practicable, the health and safety of welfare of all workers while they are under the employment, drawing the pension on an authorized leave at work in the factory. So when they are at work in the factory, that time you have to ensure that you are maintaining their health, safety and welfare of all the workers. Okay, great. This was your 105. Let's go to next question. So the next question is 106. Let's see what the question says. Now, gratuity is calculated on the basis of continuous service rendered by the employee for every completed year of service or part in excess of. So, if 6 months excess is there, part in excess of 6 months is there, that will be considered as your entire year. So, gratuity calculation, completed years and part in excess of 6 months or part in excess of 6 months. Now, as per section number 3 of the Companies Act 2013, one person company is a private company. Okay, OPC is your private company. The meaning of the term ultra vires, beyond their power, which is not written in their MOA, Memorandum of Association. Application along with fee is filed with the regional director for shifting the registered office within the same state in INC 23, form number INC 23. Remuneration payable to directors who are neither managing directors nor whole-time directors shall not exceed 1% of net profit. Your remuneration payable to non-managing directors or not the whole-time directors, which are your other directors, executive directors, etc. They shall not be paid remuneration more than 1% of net profit. Okay. 7 principles of public life were set out by Lord Nolan for the first time in the year 1995. Okay, straightforward question. Now, question number 112. The phrase business ethics and corporate ethics are often used to describe the application of ethical values to business activities. Business ethics, business activity related ethics. Okay. An individual shall give his consent to become a designated partner in form number 9. In form number 9, the partners of LLP have to give their consent. Annual return of a one-person company shall be signed by the company secretary, or where there is no company secretary, by the director of company. The only director that is there of the company will be signing if there is no company secretary. Value chain as a strategic framework for analysis of competitive advantage was promoted by Michael Porter. Porter's 5 forces, etc. These are the important things. Strategy word comes in, we should remember Michael Porter. In case of a sale of auction, the sale may be notified to a subject to a reserved price. Okay, sale by auction will have a reserved price, that is reserved by the people who are selling it. In which one of the following cases an agreement without consideration is void? In sale of property, if there is no consideration, that is a void agreement. Okay. In case of a private company, mention the number of members personally present to form the quorum. So if quorum is to be formed, how many are personally required to be present? Private company, 2 members. Okay. Registered office shall be opened within from the date of incorporation of the company within 30 days. Registered office shall be opened within 30 days from the date of incorporation of company. A new partner may be admitted in a partnership firm either for the increase of capital of the firm or to strengthen management of the firm. Every employee shall be entitled to receive bonus from his employer in an accounting year if he has worked for not less than 30 working days. You have to work more than 30 working days to get the bonus. So, not less than 30 working days. All payment of wages shall be made on a working day only. You have to make the payment. Holiday, weekend, you can't pay. Working day. An instrument of the proxy shall be deposited with the registered office of the company before hours of the conduct of the meeting. Before 48 hours. Before you are conducting the before conducting the meeting, before 48 hours of conducting the meeting, instrument of proxy shall be submitted to registered office of the company. If you are not going to go, some other person is going as a proxy. So before 48 hours, you have to submit. Review of minimum wages is to be done at such interval not exceeding 5 years. 5 years is the maximum limit for you to review the minimum wages. If the minimum wages are the same for 5 years, you have to revise them. So 5 years review period is given. A general meeting may be called after giving a shorter notice if consent is given by not less than 95% of the members entitled to vote at such meeting. So 95% people who are members who can give the vote in the meeting should give the vote to conduct a meeting at a shorter notice without much period of notice, 8 days, 10 days. Okay. In within 2 days you want to call a notice. So 95% of the voting members should be agreeing to it. Presentation for acceptance of the bill may not be excused in the following cases. Let's see the cases where the drawee cannot be found in reasonable efforts. So this time it can be excused. Where the drawee is insolvent, again excuse can be taken. Where the drawee is a fictitious person, that is itself an excuse. Where the drawee is in a special economic zone, you can't give the excuse that the drawee is in special economic zone. Okay. Now, next question, question number 127. Office of a director shall become vacant in case he absents himself from all the meetings of the board of directors held during a period of 12 months. Within 12 months, if the meeting are held, like all 4 of the meetings, board directors meeting is there and the person is absent, the director is absent, with or without seeking leave of absence of the board. You have taken the leave or you have not taken the leave also, but within 12 months if you are not present in any of the meeting, you are absent in all the meetings, then the officer of the director, that this director should have to vacate the office, will have to resign the office of director. Meaning of the Latin word endorsum. Endorsum means upon the back. Okay. Permanent disablement benefit is paid at the rate of 90%. Permanent disablement benefit is given at 90% rate. A person is said to be of sound mind for the purpose of making a contract if at the time when he makes the contract he is capable of listening, hearing, understanding. Sound mind means you are able to capture the things, you are able to understand it. Ankit agrees to pay Beena 1500 if it rains today. Otherwise, Beena pays Ankit 2000. This is a wagering contract based on an uncertain event. Writing of a person's name on the face or back of an instrument or on a slip of a paper attached is called as endorsement. You write the name on the face or back of an instrument, so that is your endorsement. Anusua and Shrita formed a partnership to undertake construction of shopping complex in New Delhi. This partnership is called particular partnership. They are doing just one thing. They are constructing a shopping complex in New Delhi. So that is their particular partnership for a particular activity. As per the Minimum Wages Act 1948, adolescent means a person who has completed age of 14 years but not completed age of 18. So 14 to 18 you are called as adolescent. Okay. Every employee shall be entitled to receive bonus from his employer in an accounting year. In an accounting year, you are entitled to bonus. So, financial year, accounting year is similar for us in India, but the specific words given in the act are accounting year. So, you have to remember that. Minimum age limit for appointment of full-time directors is 21 years. Company can remove a director appointed at the annual general meeting, at extraordinary general meeting, by the promoter, by the tribunal. Right? You want to remove a director from your company, you have to take the approval by tribunal. Annual return of one person company shall be signed by the company secretary. If the company secretary is not available, then the director will sign. But first preference is to company secretary. I hope till 138 we are all good. Great. Let's go ahead. Anu threatened to kidnap Binnu's daughter if she does not sell her house worth rupees 90 lakh to her for 20 lakh. This contract is void due to absence of free concern. This is not done with free concern. You are telling that person to sell the house for around rupees 20 lakh, which is 70 lakhs less than the actual value. The worth today is 90 lakhs. So there is no free concern. Okay. Absence of free concern. The Latin maxim nemo dat quod non habet means no man can pass a better title than he has. No holder can pass a better title than he has. If you have a defective title, you can't pass it in a good faith. As per the RBI Act, which of the following negotiable instruments can be payable on the bearer to the bearer on demand? So we have seen bearer checks. In practical life also, if you want to withdraw money from your account, you use the bearer check. When a partnership firm is continued even after the expiry of fixed term, it is called partnership at will. If after a fixed term also you are continuing, your fixed partnership will get converted into partnership at will. The amount of gratuity payable to an employee shall not exceed 12 months pay. So gratuity that you are paying shall not exceed your 12 months pay. Okay, sorry. Yeah. No female child shall be allowed to work in a factory except between 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. So female or child employee is there, your female child employee is there, so they can only work 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Now, which of the following is not a valid medium of sending notice to all shareholders? By registered post or speed post, that is allowed. Through public advertisement, you can't send a notice of meeting. Through registered email ID, you can do, courier you can do, post you can do, but not through public advertisement. If any default is made in filing refund of money, the company and every officer who is in default shall be liable to a penalty of maximum up to 1 lakh rupees. Maximum limit for default in filing refund of money. Company and officer are liable to 1 lakh rupees penalty. Okay. If you do not file the refund of money on time, you will have to pay the liability, and that is maximum up to 1 lakh. So you have to file the refund of money on time so that you don't have to pay penalty. A proposal may be revoked at any time before the communication of acceptance. A proposal can be revoked before the communication is done. Okay. Which of the following is not to be taken care while admitting a new partner? Computation of new profit sharing ratio, that is to be done. Sacrifice ratio, profit sharing ratio is very much important. In accounts, you have seen that. Accounting treatment of goodwill. Goodwill is to be calculated. Professional qualification of admitting partner. You don't have to verify the professional qualifications, etc. If you are doing in a chartered accountancy firm, that time is difficult, like a different situation. But regularly, we don't see the professional qualification, etc. Revaluation of asset liability happens. So it is not taken care of. Which point is not taken care while admitting a new partner? Professional qualification of admitting a partner. where goods are delivered to the buyer and he refuses to accept them, buyer is not bound to return them to seller. Goods are delivered to buyer and buyer says, I don't want this goods. So here buyer is not bound to return them to seller. Buyer can just keep it with him, keep it outside his factory or the place of business. He's not bound to return it back to seller. No child shall be allowed to work in a factory unless he has completed his 14th year. So 14 years is the minimum age. 150 questions all done. Last 50 questions are there. I hope you are there strong with me till here. Okay, next question 151. Gratuity shall be payable to an employee on the termination of his employment after he has rendered continuous service of not less than 5 years. Gratuity 5 years. Gratuity 5 years. You have to remember like this. Employee State Insurance Corporation is HUF, local authority, charitable institution. It is a body corporate. Corporation, body corporate. Trick to remember. If there is any misstatement in the prospectus, then it would attract the liability on the issuer, the person who is issuing. Printer, publisher or proofreader are not liable. Issuer, the person, the company which is issuing, they are liable for the misstatement. Every company limited by share shall keep and maintain a register of members in the form MGT1. In MGT1, you have to maintain the register of members. The register of members will contain all the names of the members who are subscribed to your shares. 155. The main feature of e-contract is it is cost and acceptability, purity and clarity, speed, accurate and reliable. E-contract is speed, it is like very quickly sent to you. It is accurate and reliable also. It is public document, so it has to be reliable also. Which of the following is not an unpaid seller's right against the good? Right of retention, right of stoppage in transit, right of seeking claim for damage. It is not a right available with the unpaid seller. Okay. Others are the right available. Unpaid seller can resell it, he can retain the goods, he can stop the transit of that goods. All these are available, but you can't claim the damages. Now, 157, where the endorser does not want the endorsee or any other holder to, where the endorser does not want that the endorsee or any other holder to incur any expense on his account is called as Sanfras endorsement. You don't want endorser or endorsee to incur any expense on their account. So that is Sanfras endorsement. The liability of the partners will continue for the acts done before the dissolution, even after the dissolution, until public notice is given for dissolution. So liability will be continuing till the date you give the public notice of dissolution. Now, under Employee State Insurance Act 1948, the term of office of the members of Medical Benefit Council shall be 4 years. So the office members of medical benefit are 4 years, like 4 years term is there for them. Okay, after 4 years, you have to get them changed. Which one cannot be transacted through postal ballot? What you can't transact with postal ballot? Appointment of auditor. We have seen in a different form also this particular question. Sweat equity shares shall be locked in for a period of 3 years. Okay, for a period of 3 years from the date of allotment. Few more questions and then you will be able, you will be ready with your 30 marks in your examination. Which one of the following is not the discharge by operational law? By merger it is, by law, by insolvency it is, by breach of contract. This is not discharge by operation of law. This is by discharge by the parties. Okay. By the unauthorized alteration of items of a written document. This is also discharged by operation of law. Which of the following is a method of discharge from liability? By cancellation you can say this is method of discharge by liability. Discharge from liability. If you cancel it, you are discharged from your liability. A partner may contribute to LLB, tangible or immovable property allowed, movable or immovable property allowed, money, promissory note allowed. Any of the above is the correct option here. Question number 165. Gratuity is payable to an employee after he has rendered continuous service for not less than 5 years on his transfer, daughter's marriage, re-employment, resignation. So gratuity is payable to an employee after he has rendered continuous service of 5 years on the date of resignation. We have already seen this type of question. 5 years, resignation, these two things you have to remember. So this seems to be an important MCQ for you people. Who will not be considered as an employee? Partners will not be considered as an employee. Canteen workers are your employee, casual workers employee, part-time employees are your employee. But your partners will not be your employees of the firm. Individual pension account means an account of subscriber executed by a contract settling out the terms and conditions under the national pension scheme. Pension account, individual pension account is there provided in the national pension scheme. Okay. Which of the following is not a category of company? Inactive company is a category of company. Assistant company, we don't have this category of company in the Companies Act. Section 92 of the Companies Act 2013 requires a company to prepare and file annual return in the form number MGT7. So a company has to file and prepare the annual return in form MGT7. A proper foundation of ethics requires a standard of value to which all goals and actions can be compared. Okay, so a proper foundation of ethics requires a standard of value. Okay, option number A, value. 30 more questions and we will be done with this video. The term sub-agent in the business of agency is defined as a person employed by and acting under the control of original agent. Original agent is there and under this you may have multiple sub-agents. Okay. Which of the following is not the mode of dissolution of partnership firm under voluntary dissolution? So you can voluntarily dissolve by agreement on the happening of certain contingency. If something goes wrong, partner dies or there is a huge loss, that time you can go for dissolution. But dissolution on becoming a partner of unsound mind, that is not the mode of dissolution under voluntarily. You are not doing it voluntarily, that becomes compulsory for you because one partner has become unsound mind. Okay. Which of the following amounts to safety measure? Artificial humidification, ventilation, fencing of machinery. We have already seen this. Right to property is a constitutional right. You have the constitutional right to a property. Now, on which date was the Constitution of India adopted? November 26, 1949. Most important thing you need to remember. Constitution of India was adopted on 26 November 1949. On which date was sale of goods enforced? 1930. They have asked you year 1930. Sale of Goods Act 1930. Consideration in contract of sale must be price. Your consideration must be in terms of money. A sale is complete when the following is transferred from one. Ownership is to be transferred for a sale to be completed. Banker includes any person acting as a banker and any post office saving bank. Okay, so your banker should be a person who is acting as a banker. Okay. An act. Now employees of the firm also can like you can't say that employees of the bank. You have a sweeper in the bank, that is not a banker. It should be acting as a banker, okay, of that bank or any post office saving bank. Agents, MD, or your sweeper, the refreshment people who are bringing it, who are clearing, who are getting you the prints, etc., they are not the employees, are not your banker. Who is acting as a banker and in the post office saving or your normal banks, that is a banker. An act of a firm means a partner or agent of the firm which gives rise to a right enforceable by or against the firm. Okay. Act by all the partners. Any omission by all the partners. All of the above. All these are act by the firm. Partnership is the relation between persons who have agreed to share the profit of a business carried on by all or any of them acting for all. Does it mean that the losses are not shared? A minor may be admitted in partnership only for benefit, correct? But he cannot share the losses. It also depends on the partnership agreement. A person may share the profit but may not share in the loss. In the partnership deed, it is written that A is only going to share the profit but not losses. So that time you cannot give that person the losses. Sharing of profit also includes losses. So if profit is there, that is shared, so losses also will be shared. All of the above are correct. it means that losses are shared, but if it is a minor, losses will not be shared. Or if it is written in the partnership that this person is only liable for the profit, that time also losses will not be shared. Other cases, losses will be shared. So all of the above are correct here. What information shall be given to the registrar of firms by a registered partnership firm? So when you're registering a partnership firm, you have to give them new opening, closing of the existing branch. If you are opening new branch or closing some branch, you have to give them. Change in name and address of the partner, change in constitution. If a partner's address has been changed, you have to give it. Okay, partner is changed, write down that what there is a change in the name of firm or in location of principal business. If you have shifted your office, if you have changed the name of the firm, all of this information you have to give them. What are the right of partners after dissolution? So if a firm has dissolved, you will get all the surplus that is there after giving the payments of every person. Whatever surplus is there, distributed among the partners and their representative. Have the business wound up after dissolution. You have to close down the business, wound up the business. Have the property of the firm applied in payment of debts and liabilities. Whatever debts or liabilities you have, for this you will use the property of the firm. You will sell the property and get the money from it. Now, in what circumstances a partner may retire? In accordance with an express agreement, he was already in the agreement that if I attain the age of 60, I will retire. Where the partnership is at will by giving notice in writing to all partners. If it is at will, you have to give a notice to all partners that I am going to retire. And the concern should be there of all the partners, with the consent of all partners. So all of the above are required in all of the situations a partner can retire. What would be the position where a minor elect not to become a member? When a minor will not elect to become a member, he shall be entitled to sue the partners for his share of profits, right? So, where a minor elect not to be a member, he shall be entitled to sue the partners for his share of profits. If minor says, I don't want to become a partner anymore, I want to leave this firm, I want to retire. So that time, if the other partners are not giving money, you can sue them. The minor can sue them. His rights and liabilities shall continue to be that of minor under this section up to the date when he gives public notice. This minor has to give a public notice in 6 months period. So if he does not give the 6 month notice in public in 6 months period, so that time he will be deemed considered as a partner. Till then, he has all the rights and liabilities of a minor. His share shall not be liable for any acts of the firm done after the date of notice. So after he has given a notice, I don't want to be the partner of this firm. After that, whatever activities are done for firm, minor is not liable because he said, I don't want to be the partner. Okay. Every limited liability partnership must maintain its books of account diligently. Those books of account should maintain particular of receipts and expenditure. LLP has to maintain receipts, expenditure, inventory of cost of goods purchased, then work in progress, inventories, finished goods, cost of goods sold. Complete record of the assets and liabilities. All of the above is to be maintained by LLP. Shelter home rooms with suitable lunch rooms are to be provided if more than 150 workers are employed. Is there an option? 150 is not given, so we'll take none of the above. So you have to remember, they can ask you how many employees should be there for shelter rooms with lunch rooms are to be there. So they can give you 150 as an option. Okay, clearly remember this. Identify from the following which is the power of inspector of factory. What is the power of inspector? Enter into the place. Inspector is there. He can enter, he can make the inquiry, he can seize or take the copy. So all of the above are the powers of inspector of factory. Even if they ask you in a theory question, these 3 points very easy to remember. Enter into a factory, make inquiry into any incident, seize or take copies of any document. Okay. Weekly holiday shall be third day of the week. Okay, weekly holiday if you want, that can be third day of the week. Nomination is to be filed in duplicate. One you have to file with the firm or company or factory, and the other will be kept as a copy with you. Nomination is to be made by an employee after completion of 1 year of service. You can give a nominee only after 1 year of service, which does not amount to retirement. Superannuation does not amount to retirement. Okay. Contribution of the employer to employees pension scheme. Employer to employees pension scheme is 8.33%. Remember this. And employer's contribution to employees EPF provident fund, that is 10%. Pension scheme 8.33%. Contribution of employer to insurance fund is 1%. Employer contributes 1% to insurance funds. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Few more questions and we will be done with this double 100 MCQs, which will not amount to service of notice under the rule. So personal service will amount to service of notice. You go and give that by registered post, it will amount. By courier will not amount to service of notice. Okay. While filing appeal to EPF appellate tribunal, the employer has to deposit 75% of the amount due from him. When you're filing an appeal to EPF, Employee Provident Fund Appellate Tribunal, the employer has to deposit 75% of the amount due from him. Okay. Which one of the following is not correct? Articles of company shall provide for appointment of chairman in meeting. Yes, it should provide. It can provide. Members personally present at the meeting shall elect one of themselves to be chairman on a show of hands if the article does not provide for the same. Correct? If the articles has not written anything for election of chairman, members personally at the meeting by showing of hands can elect a chairman. Managing director is the chairman of meeting. Managing director is never the chairman of meeting. Okay, that is not correct. In the case of an 198. In the case of an adjourned meeting, the company shall give not less than 3 days notice to the members. In case of an adjourned meeting, not less than 3 days of notice should be given to the members. Okay, option number B, 3 days. Which one of the following is not correct in regard to share certificate? Company secretary shall issue the share certificate. Company secretary cannot issue the share certificate. Share certificate shall be issued in pursuance with resolution of board. Every share certificate shall be distinguished to its distinctive member and shares may be in the dematerialized form. Okay. So share certificate cannot be issued by the share company secretary. Last question of your double 100 MCQs. Sitting fees shall not exceed 1 lakh rupees. 1 lakh per meeting of the board or committee. So you can give sitting fees, but it should not exceed 1 lakh rupees per meeting. Okay. I hope this 200 MCQs were helpful to you people and this will benefit to you all. So for the PDF, you have to contact Sudarshan sir. He will be providing with you the PDF. This number, contact number is given on the first page. You can pause the video and take this contact number, contact him and he will be helping you with the PDF. All the very best for your examination. I hope this double 100 series of law will be helping you in paper number 5 and you will be able to score 24 to 25 marks in your examination from the 30 marks MCQ, right? All the very best for the exam. That's it from my side. Thank you.